Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for my weekly wellness show. My name is Jerry Baker. I am a nutrition and wellness consultant and coach, and I post these videos once a week on a topic that I think you'll be interested in and that would be helpful for you as you continue your journey to better health. Well, just by way of background, I am a healthcare worker for over 45 years, I think it was. I was a clinical scientist and a healthcare administrator in the healthcare system. Um, and one thing I discovered in the healthcare system is that the focus, of course, is diagnosing disease and then prescribing uh, drugs and chemicals to at least treat the symptoms of those diseases. So it's not very effective. And a number of years ago, I discovered that really a better way is to health is through natural nutrition. And so that's what I do in terms of coaching and consulting, and then in these videos and in a Facebook group that I have as well. So this morning, well, the last two shows, if you've seen them, I've talked about telomeres or telomeres if you're from Great Britain, but and the telomere theory of aging. Well, this morning I'm going to continue that topic. There's a wealth of information in the area of telomeres, and it's fascinating, and I think you'll find it very fascinating and hopefully you'll find it helpful as well as you pursue good health. So let me just go ahead and share my slides and get started. And we'll begin with this week's wellness show, September 11. Of course, September 11, actually, we were in Latvia on September 11 in 2001 and had to watch what had happened in New York on the BBC. It was obviously a very sobering time, and we remember this day all those people who died that day, and remember too the great unity that we all felt, and we're praying for that unity to be restored soon. So again, welcome to this week's show. The best way to ensure you have a life of lasting vitality and well-being is to get educated on the natural way to health. Like I say, I was in the healthcare field for many years, and I respect all the doctors and the things that they do, but I do find that better health is available through natural nutrition without having to ingest a lot of drugs that sometimes have their own separate side effects. So I'm here to help you improve your health by living in harmony with nature. Nature holds the secrets to good health, but we use science to unlock those secrets. So thanks for joining me on this wellness journey. Last week, as I said, we talked about telomeres. They're the protective caps on our DNA. On the chromosomes play a crucial role in the aging process. So by understanding how they impact our health span, that is we have, of course, lifespan, but health span is what I consider to be your span of good health. You can live a long life and not be healthy. We want to increase our health span. So as you live longer, you live longer, healthier. Healthy habits such as staying active, getting enough sleep, managing stress can help you preserve and even extend your telomere length, believe it or not, contributing to a healthier, longer life. And we're going to look into that in more detail. So today's show, we're diving more into the topic of telomeres, and we'll talk about how a tasty gummy can help protect them. Sounds intriguing, I hope. So let's start then, talk about telomeres. Or telomeres. These are the tiny caps at the end of your chromosomes, as you can see here, and they basically keep your chromosomes from unraveling. It's like plastic tips on the end of your shoelaces. If those tips get frayed, your shoelaces start to fall apart, as you can see in this illustration. If they shorten too much, your cells can't divide properly, and that's what leads to aging and other health issues. But here's the good news. You can actually protect your telomeres with the right nutrients, and this is where antioxidants come in. So what are antioxidants? You might have been asking yourself. These are powerful nutrients that help combat oxidative stress, which is a major culprit behind telomere shortening and weakening of the immune system. Matter of fact, stress is a leading cause of disease today. But when we give our bodies a steady stream of antioxidants, they're protecting our cells from becoming irreversibly damaged and then basically dysfunctional. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where can I find a superhero blend of these antioxidants? Well, you may not have been thinking that, but maybe now you are. Well, friends, I've got a tasty solution for you. Vivix, it's called the anti-aging gummy. It's really one of a kind supplement that's packed with antioxidant power of muscadine grapes, resveratrol, and a unique blend of polyphenols. And I'll talk a little bit more of those about that in the next slide. So what makes muscadine grapes so special? Muscadine grapes are grown in oftentimes harsh environments. There's actually a number of vineyards in Georgia where muscadine grapes are grown. But they contain an extra pair of chromosomes, which scientists believe is what gives them a powerful edge in protecting your cells from damage and aging. And that's where you find a lot of this is actually found in the skin itself. The skin, seeds, and pulp of the muscadine grapes are bursting with polyphenols, and these are antioxidants that help you protect your cells from the wear and tear that can lead to aging. So with Vivix gummies, you're not just supporting your health today, you're giving your telomeres a little extra love to help them stay strong and healthy for the long run. I know gummies, it sounds like something for kids, and certainly children after a certain age can take them. But more and more, I think maybe you're seeing this, more and more companies are changing to a gummy form of vitamins and that sort of thing. So it's backed by science. So what makes Vivix different is that it's not backed by nature, or it's not just backed by nature, but solid scientific research as well. And we'll talk about that. Shackley's landmark study is the first comprehensive look at the health impacts of long-term supplement use, proves that Shackley products, including Vivix, are a powerful ally in promoting cellular health. And there's a lifetime of proven results, basically a lot of information on this slide, but basically these numbers like a 30%, let me back up just a minute. In the study looked at people who use the dietary supplements that Shackley offers, including Vivix, and compared them to those who did not. And they found that those who are taking the Shackley supplements had, for instance, a 36% lower rate of C-reactive protein levels in their blood. And these are C-reactive proteins are things that can cause damage and disease. These people also had an 83% decrease in medication use. Like I say, we're focused more on natural products as opposed to pharmaceuticals. 32% decrease in triglyceride levels, if you're familiar with that, or if you had struggled with high cholesterol, and 31% increase in HDL levels, and HDL is called the good cholesterol. And then there's a 57% decrease in telomere shortening rate. So in other words, look at people that, in this one study, looked at people who are in their 30s and compared them to individuals who were taking the Shackley supplements and Vivix who were in their 50s and 60s or older, and found that the older people actually had telomere length that was equivalent to or close to that of a younger age. So this is the first comprehensive look at health impact of long-term supplement use. So you can take my word for it, or let's hear from Dr. Bruce Daggy. He's a renowned expert in this field, and he explains the science behind Vivix and how it supports your cells. Sorry, it supports your cells at the molecular level. So let's check
There's
out
a,
this
a
video.
clinical study, a published clinical study that was very remarkable on Vivix, as well as laboratory studies leading up to and following that clinical trial. So I'm going to take you through a little bit about the ways we've looked at it. So when we talk about cells aging, there are a number of different mechanisms whereby cells age. There can be an accumulation of oxidative and inflammatory damage. This can affect the mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cell. This can damage protein, and that's what I referred to earlier as AGEs. It can impair the stress resistance of the cell. It can cause the DNA in the cell to be damaged. And so we've looked at all these different kinds of inputs that can happen with the damage. So in the clinical study, Vivix was shown to blunt the biological stress response, to put the cells into a better protected state. And again, over time, that kind of a stress, and in the case of that clinical study, it was just in response to an unhealthy breakfast. We're not talking about something that you never experience. That's leading to the accumulation of damage. So this was a high-fat meal, one single serving of Vivix or a matching placebo. And the Vivix ingredients blunted the stress response versus what was observed in the control over a 5-hour period after that meal. Now, I mentioned the mitochondria and increasing cellular energy. Again, mitochondria are important organelles inside your cells. They're the power plants of the cell, so to speak, and they can be damaged over time. And so you want to prevent that damage. We did a laboratory study looking at the viability and simply the mass of the mitochondria in human cell tissue over time. Next slide. And this is a kind of a cartoon representation, but you can actually see the data. We'll get to that later. These are micrographs where the blue areas represent the mitochondria. So in the control, you just see a few mitochondria. With resveratrol alone, you see more of the mitochondria. But with the complex polyphenol mixture in Vivix, you see the greatest increase in mitochondria. So again, this is energizing the cell. Cellular repair, okay, this can be different things. And one of the things we looked at was DNA damage. DNA is, of course, the blueprint within your cell that directs the cell in terms of what proteins it's going to make. So there's an assay that's called a COMET assay that looks at whether that DNA is intact or damaged. And if the DNA is damaged, you get like a small head of the comet with a big diffuse tail, like you see in the control. With resveratrol, that head of the comet is more visible and the tail is not quite as dispersed, indicating that that DNA was less broken down than in the control. But in Vivix, you see a massive head to the comet and very little tail. That means that the DNA was protected. And then again, on protein. So again, the proteins in your body perform a number of functions. There are proteins that are hormones. There are proteins that are part of your muscle, that are antibodies. There are many, many different roles. And those proteins can be damaged and need to be broken down and recycled. And so that one form of damage is called AGE. And again, we compared in laboratory studies the formation of AGE proteins with resveratrol alone or with Vivix. And this is actually inhibition. So you have much greater inhibition of the formation of these damaged proteins with a Vivix blend versus resveratrol alone.
Okay, I find that quite fascinating, and hopefully you did as well. You can find the following studies about muscadine and Vivix in our Health Resource Center. I'll show you more later about how to access that. So, ready to dive deeper into how you can support your telomeres and overall health through simple, effective changes? You can join our Vitality for Life show on Wednesdays, that's September 18th at 8 p.m. as we delve into the telomere story with Dr. Bruce Daggy, and he'll talk about this in greater detail. And it's going to be packed with a lot of valuable insights and tips that you can start using right away. So again, this is the advertisement for that. Wednesday, September 18th at 8 p.m. So you'll want to mark your calendar for that. And again, I'll share a link for that for you to register for that webcast on the last slide of the show, so you can save your seat. Hopefully you found that to be pretty fascinating, what he shared earlier, and I think you'll just find this webcast to be very, very interesting and informative and helpful as well. So just a quick recap, Vivix gummies protect your cells and promote healthier aging. And of course, there's contact information for me on the last slide as well if you want to learn more. And then join us on September the 18th. There's also an article in my Wellness Center, where you can read more about this. If you're not subscribed to that yet, you can create a free account in my Wellness Center. And I promise I'm not going to send you a lot of emails, but it will give you access to a lot of valuable and helpful information. So you can also learn more on this topic in my Wellness Center, how to protect your cells to slow aging, and how this Nobel laureate's discovery can change anti-aging forever. And that's Dr. I've forgotten her name, a British Nobel laureate who refers to these as telomeres. And then telomeres, the key to aging and longevity. Also, another article you can read in my Wellness Center is here. And then increase your wellness IQ. Join my wellness community on Facebook and register for the upcoming wellness webcast. And again, I'll have links on the last slide. So thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you on our next event. And here are the links I mentioned. This is my Wellness Center. Again, you can go there, and that's where you can, and you sign up. But again, I'm not going to send you a lot of unwanted emails. You'll find a lot of information there that I just mentioned, and much more in the way of videos and articles and so on. And here's the link to register for the upcoming event. Here's a link to my wellness page. Maybe changing the name of that shortly, but you can go there, and every weekday I post information there about nutrition and wellness and helpful hints for you. And then my email address you can find right here. So take a photo of that, or if you're not able to, you want to come back, you can just come back, go to my YouTube channel where this is posted, and you can replay it, fast forward into this slide and take a photo. So that's it for today. A little bit longer today, but hopefully you found it as fascinating as I did. And I hope you'll join me again next week for my Discovery show, they say, every Wednesday. So talk to you soon, and have a great day, and wish you well on your journey to better health. Thanks. Goodbye.